Here's somebody. Oh, we timed it just right. All right.
Hello.
I literally just, I was like, I don't know if I did, but I guess.
I couldn't remember if we were down. I went upstairs first.
I figured we
Yeah.
might as well use this. All right, so I started the recording just now. So this is
Okay.
the Parks meeting of April 27th, 5:12 p.m. with everyone in attendance as well as Joanne. All right, so I guess we can just go through stuff.
Sure.
Still don't have any minutes. I put an item for seasonal staff promotions. So there were two things. Hang on, here's my spreadsheet. The first was, one of our counselors ended up getting certified as a lifeguard.
Oh, nice.
So I would like to recommend that we, in addition to hiring, we've already hired her as a CN officer, as a counselor for the
Yeah.
program. I'd like to also propose hiring her as a lifeguard at $17 an hour, pending all the certifications and all that. And then she'll split between the two. So I don't know if somebody wants to make a motion.
I will motion to hire the individual as a lifeguard as well. Pending
Second.
all certifications.
Second, I don't know if you got that, but
Right.
Yep, we got that. Thank you.
So
Thank
all
you.
in favor?
All in favor?
aye.
And I guess technically it's supposed to be a roll call, but.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other issue is we were trying to figure out what to do with senior counselors. So we had 5 slots. We now have one of our returning members got an internship, so that he's not returning.
Okay.
So we have 2 returning.
Are we looking for someone for the person who is not returning?
Yeah, the goal was there's 2 returning, which leaves us 3 slots. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential interested candidates. However, of the 2 returning, one of them is also going to be looking for a job that's in their field, and I'd say still 50-50, but it's likely they won't return or will work less hours.
Okay.
So I believe the recommendation from Alan and Jen is that we promote all 5 of these that were interested. There were 6 or 7.
Yeah.
One person rescinded their interest, one person declined the position entirely.
Did Gianni Mistretta put his name in the list there?
He had applied to work as a counselor.
Yeah.
And at the time, we ended up not having any counselors.
Okay. I just know he had interest.
Yeah, so with what we're at now, we have 20, so let me show you the right number, 28, 27, 26 counselors. Last year we hired 25 and lost 4 of them, so we had 21. So this 26, if we promote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, that leaves us with the same, let's say 28%, let's say. So that leaves us with 21. So I didn't even think about that. If you want to now circle back, whether we think about, I know there was him and there was one other individual that has reached out about that skipped a year and wanted to return. We also have like 30 applicants that we didn't even interview. So if that's the case, maybe we should table this and discuss or promote them and bring that back for another meeting.
Sure.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't think about that. If we think we're still good with the numbers we have. Let's see, what's the last thing they sent me? Promote the ones who did apply. If people didn't apply, leave it alone. So yeah, I guess the recommendation would be to promote these 5 counselors to senior counselor. And then maybe we can take that back to instead of the meeting date and review the counselors and see if we think about it.
Sure, that sounds good.
Yeah, so it would be, is there another one that's off this list? Sorry, hang on a second. Sorry, it's 4. Like 12 spreadsheets. So it's Lily, Kylene, Gabby Reinhardt, Gabby Palmer, and Paige Anderson. All worked for us previously, all expressed interest in the senior counselor. We were going to interview them at this point. we don't need to waste time interviewing for 4 people for 4 slots.
Yeah,
So we would have 4.
Yep.
Which would then bring us to a total of 6, which I think we can end up with 5 or maybe 5.5.
mm-hmm,
So I think that would be the motion to, hang on. Sorry, I didn't really prepare pay rates for them. Give me this.
wasn't it going up, like, if they were a second year, they get a certain rate?
The senior counselors get a different, also have another increase. Sorry, I've been all over the place trying to. You just double check so we're actually voting on the right things. You. Because I think we start the senior counselors at a slightly higher number than you pay. Yeah, so they were hired at, what did we do? Shoot. I might need to table this and take a closer look at it. I don't know if I'm gonna have the time to figure this out in the time we have right now. I just wanna make sure we don't do something wrong. Oh, no, never mind. I think it's $16 an hour. Because we had 2 returning senior counselors that went from 16 to 16.25. And these people were $15.50 or $15.75 as counselors.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be Lily Kyleen, Gabby Palmer, Gabby Reinhardt, Paige Anderson, as senior promote to senior counselors,
Yep.
$16 an hour.
Okay,
So are you guys okay with that?
yeah, so that's the motion that just passed, right?
Yeah.
Voting no. Yes, that's great.
So you make a motion and then we should vote on it.
Motion to promote.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, motion.
I'll put it in the minutes as specific
Sure.
names, the 4.
Motion to promote the individuals from counselor to senior counselor.
16 an hour. All right, and then does someone second?
Second.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then I will circle back with Alan and Jen and we'll set a date. Let's verify that we have enough counselors.
Okay.
Because that's a good point that, especially if we had somebody returning that we knew there's no.
Oh, yes.
And I think there was another one too. Okay. All right. So that was the staffing. I put the culture council summer event on the agenda. I don't know if there's anything new.
No, it's just that you saw he said he's fine with the date.
I think, what time were you thinking?
I said 6:30 to him, so,
I didn't know if I had
yeah,
seen that, but I don't know if maybe you're caught, I didn't look that close.
yeah.
But yeah, so the bands, so they're confirmed, are you still thinking we'd have them perform on the basketball court, or do we wanna try and fit them down the beach? I mean, I don't know how many people you're gonna expect,
I
that's the
don't know,
question.
that's the whole thing.
It'd be cool to.
If we could do it on the beach, it'd be awesome, but I don't know, how big are they? Because
They're-
I've seen them various times over the years. so
I'll double check, but they're probably gonna have like 60-something players. They would, I don't know if you were, it was, you were at, they'll fill up that whole lower grass area if they went down the beach. You know, probably there's not a lot of lights on the beach.
Right, so I probably should stick to
So
the
if
basketball.
we do it at night, so you're doing your event here?
3 o'clock in the afternoon, the signing will take place out here.
Okay,
And then you'll have time in between. The signing's probably gonna be about an hour, and then
Yeah.
at night, the concert will be up.
and they're talking about stuff on display and stuff.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're supposed to move stuff up here and all that good stuff.
Okay, so that should be fine then.
Okay.
Unless I don't know if anybody else has any thoughts, but
The basketball court at the beach, right?
at the park.
Oh, in the
With the
park.
lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, they could play at the pavilion too, if your thought was to have it closer to the beach where stuff is, I don't know.
I don't know, I mean, I've got to go up and look, because I have not been to the pavilion. I know where the
Yeah.
courts are.
We've
but-
had them
Yeah.
play at the pavilion, we just moved all the picnic tables out, so that's an option, and there's lights up there.
Okay,
Whether people wanna be up near the woods at night, it gets a little buggy.
That's.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let me get back to you. We're gonna talk about it at my next meeting, so
Yeah, see what they think.
see what they think. Where do you wanna go, people? Tell me, and I'll let you know. It's either gonna be one or the other. It's just a matter of where.
Mhm.
I'm thinking they're probably gonna lean more towards the basketball courts, cause it's closer to the front area,
Yep.
less buggy and all of that good stuff, but.
Well, now we have those lights. And I do have chairs right there.
So,
All right,
okay,
I put, beach events on the agenda just to go over. I heard back from Cable 8, so they have their 3 concerts. I don't know if Tara got back to me with 2026 dates yet. Usually the library does 1 or 2 children's concerts.
Yeah, I remember that.
Puppet band, Toe Jam Puppet Band,
Yep.
and Roly Poly Guacamole. I assume that's still the plan. I will double check with her. The Milford is gonna bring the rec program down again. That's during the day. And then we've got the boat race,
Oh, yeah. Does that already have a date?
July
July
13th.
13th,
Oh, okay.
rain date of the 14th.
Yeah, great.
The
Oh, it's
reason I know is because my husband asked because he wanted to find out for the Lions Club to put a boat in.
Yeah. So I will get all that on our schedule online and start making Facebook events for all those. See that? Yeah. I have not done anything with swim lessons yet. I know I put it on the agenda as kind of a placeholder. I need to figure out, I think what I'd like to do, is try, we used to do it in 2-week sessions,
Yeah.
but it becomes difficult for people to like sign up. So I was trying to see if there's a way to just do 1-week sessions.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're only gonna do the lower levels, like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Yeah.
We're not qualified to teach the upper levels
Mm-hmm.
unless some magic person comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
But that's one of my things I need to work on and figure out, like kind of a lesson plan, what we're gonna do for that. The rec program is full.
Oh, great. So it's at
here. I will,
capacity.
let me just. Oh, stop. So. See. This probably is okay. I mean, this is totally insane. So there is, the dates that are red are full.
Yep.
The dates that are yellow have less than 10 spots. The green is open and the blue one basically has 1 spot left.
Yeah.
Here, these are the exact numbers. Ignore the 91. That's,
Yeah.
I stuck some people in the placeholder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like crazy.
And it is, that's great.
Next year, we are definitely gonna have to do some sort of I don't know, returning people pre-registration, Mendon only pre-registration, lottery. We'll have to think about what is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Whether it needs to be a full-on lottery or if it's enough to just say, for the first 2 weeks, it's Mendon only.
Mm-hmm.
I do think at this point, we've gone to a point that we'll have to, we should prioritize Mendon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shit. If we could just build a building, we'd have more capacity, but we're pretty much, we're maxed out from the space and what we can manage, I think.
Oh, yeah.
This cultural's on here twice, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's great that it's so popular.
Yeah. And I was telling Joanne, the new software seems good. We had a little debacle with our payment processor, which is hopefully resolved.
Yeah.
With the new payment processor. But so far, a lot of the features have been much more useful in terms of registrations and people being able to change their own stuff.
And is this all prepaid, like when someone registers, they pay right away?
So yeah, what we used to do is 50% deposit or just pay the whole thing, and the remaining balance you'd get charged for like Sunday, the week before.
Oh, okay.
They'll say pay your balance.
Yeah.
And at drop off, we're looking at if you owe money, you have to pay.
Yeah.
The new system had a lot more functionality of payment plans.
Mhm.
So I actually plugged a few in there so you could like sign up and pay in like 5 installments or,
Okay.
quarters.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing we can have a lot more control over, and we'll see how many of them actually get used.
Yeah.
Do they have a non-refundable deposit that they have to put down?
Yeah, so it was 50% is how we had done it before.
And they don't get
Until
that back if they back out?
Actually, no, I misspoke. So our policy has been up to more than 2 weeks out, do whatever you want. You want to cancel? Doesn't matter to me. We need 2 weeks notice.
Mhm.
After 2 weeks, you forfeit the 50% and anything else you've paid. However, if you want to cancel tomorrow and I can fill your spot in the wait list, if I'm able to fill it, I'll give you a refund, but I'm also not gonna kill myself the night before. But we have such a waiting list now that
Mm-hmm.
we've at least been able to do that. But like if somebody canceled 2 weeks out, we'll guarantee we'll fill the spot.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do, years ago, we used to do like makeup days, like if somebody was out sick or something, we've gotten rid of all that. It just was nice
Yeah, that's
to
too tough
manage.
to manage.
I think here and there, we've had a few like really serious, somebody broke their arm,
Mhm.
somebody had a family medical emergency,
Yeah.
and we made exceptions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of been our refund policy for everything, is 2 weeks notice, we'll refund your money. I think it says something about a cancellation fee, but with the new system, the reverse transaction, we get charged like 25 cents, so it's not a big deal. Sometimes like if we get charged a fee, we need to at least cover our costs.
Oh, yeah.
And our policy is the refund goes to the balance on your account. So like if you owe for the rest of the summer,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting a cash refund.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we can refund back to your card, but if it's more than a period, we cut a check to the town.
Yeah.
We've had a few like if somebody came and said I need to cancel the whole summer,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. I'm doing that formally, you'll get a check for your
Yeah.
$1,000 around.
Yeah.
Mess around with that,
Oh,
just
yeah.
one day.
Yeah.
We've had a few where like they moved and the addresses, and so like,
Mhm.
make sure there's a paper trail for all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
I put capital projects in general, so I put executive session to talk about the cameras. I don't know if we necessarily have to, I just figured we didn't necessarily need to document online the exact specifics of our system.
Oh, of course.
I guess, I don't know if this is cheating. Oh, no. Maybe maybe we will do it because I don't wanna. So the grounds crew, I don't know if you saw online, the grounds crew redid, Greenfield finally.
The T-ball
The
field.
T-ball
Yep.
field.
Yeah, I was at playing greenball the other night. That's fine.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
fixed that up, because that kind of got wrecked from everybody driving over it. They took down that message board sign that was falling apart.
Yep.
They moved a bunch of rocks around and cleaned up the parking lot, pulled out the guardrails. They are going to do the driveway road across the park before June.
Okay.
That'll be a gated,
Is it going gravel or is it paved?
I think it's gonna be crushed gravel, asphalt milling, it's not paved.
Yeah.
But so from that gate by the tennis court,
Mm-hmm.
across and down, it's basically looks like a road now by
Yeah.
Casella.
Uh-huh.
Which will make a huge difference for the camp, for
Yeah.
drop off pickup. That'll solve a lot of space conflicts with baseball
Oh, that's great.
and basketball and trying to coordinate, because then,
Yeah.
we were like taking over that whole lot with a
Yeah.
giant loop of people.
Yeah.
So now you can drive across and leave.
Oh.
But baseball can show up in the park,
Yeah.
as long as they don't block the gate,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
So yeah, they're flying along. I know, I'm trying to think of what else we sent them. I think I asked them to try and get playground mulch done. I think that was the other project. I think they were just trying to focus on getting everything prepped for opening day. And now they're probably gonna transition towards getting all these properties cleaned up for Memorial Day. We did get a quote, so by Pizzella, there's a black fence pitching area.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the fence is totally mangled.
Mhm.
So we got a quote to redo it. They're gonna replace all the fabric with much heavier gauge fabric, install a bottom rail on that long piece
Mhm.
where it gets kicked out. So that's $34.85. And then I think the suggestion is pay for that out of the revolving fund.
Yeah.
From, and that was something, one of the projects we had budgeted. Check that. Go. As Elfield Batters fence, I budgeted 4,000. So I think that's worth doing. We may want to bring in some beach sand. I know I budgeted $5,000 for that roadway, just in materials.
Yeah.
They'll do the labor. They're gonna use the one gate, and I asked if they're gonna do another gate,
Oh, okay.
because I think it's gonna get open constantly.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna fix the guardrail at Veterans Park. There's a piece that's falling apart. So are you good with the fence repair or the batting, how would you call it? Pitcher's warm-up area?
Yeah.
Manning, baseball bill did pay for it. So
So we're just fixing it.
it's, you know, it's ours. Well, I guess it's ours now. So
Yeah.
it's ours, but it's completely fallen apart. I think the mowers have chewed it up over the years. It's a massive eyesore. Baseball is doing a new batting cage at Grady Field. In the back.
Is that the back one?
Not Grady, Grant Field.
The bigger one.
Yeah, the one that looked like it was like, you'd look at it funny, it was gonna collapse. It was
Yeah.
cabled to the railing, so he's out there putting in footings. So that'll be good. I think that's all the major stuff. I'm gonna get on the beach and start cleaning everything.
Now, who puts up all those, like the fence, like the netting and stuff for those?
The youth sport, they do like a cleanup day, so
Oh, okay.
each league. So yeah, so we've kinda, it came up years ago. We've kinda let them do their own thing, so they put up the signage on the fencing.
Yeah.
That's advertising money that goes into their programs. I know at one point, I don't know if it's still there, they did come talk to us, they got a sponsorship from, I think it was Convenient MD, to put a big banner on the back of the dugout. That probably is something that will come back around at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's money that goes direct into their program, the nonprofit, it's not like it's going into somebody's pocket. It's very clearly money that's, I mean, they're gonna probably spend 10,000 on their batting cage.
Yeah.
I think as long as we're documenting the work that they're doing, what's offsetting the fees, we're okay. But yeah, they pretty much handle all that. I mean, I think what's new this year is so they've been much more aggressive, the grounds crew, dragging on the infield.
Yeah.
And kind of keeping up with that work, which is stuff we didn't really do in the past. You know, I think the idea is that the youth sports shouldn't necessarily be responsible for the day-to-day maintenance. I talked with Linda about we had, a year ago now at this point, approved getting a shed for the rec program. So she was able to get us in to buy one through the Tri-County.
Oh, okay. How big of a shed?
I forget.
10 by 12, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't have it in front of me, but that sounds about right.
And what's that gonna be used for?
So it's gonna go next to the classroom to put all the games and activities, all the stuff that's in the back of the classroom, get out into a shed. We had talked, I had a quote and it was like 2,500 in labor plus materials to build it for us. So I think this is a better approach and
that's great.
There's an Eagle, one of our employees is a potential Eagle candidate, he's asking for projects. So depending on the timing, perhaps if because I think he really wanted to do something that could support the program. Maybe his project can be to figure out the organizational portion of that. And get all the shelving and.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
We have all these old recycle bins that came from the board of health.
Will that open up like real good usable space in the existing buildings?
Yeah, I mean, not that we're necessarily gonna be able to add capacity, but like right now, I don't know if you're familiar with the classroom, but the whole back, there's like tons of stuff piled up.
Yeah.
And there's so it's more room for them to spread out.
Okay, and it'll probably make it more organized too, if you put into a new shed that starting from scratch.
Right. Like really one of our challenges with the rec program is if, there's a sudden need to go indoors, we don't really have great space to put 90 kids indoors. We're basically gonna have to send one group to the beach house.
Yeah.
So that's 30 kids, and then you've got 60 kids in that classroom, which isn't, it's fine in short term, but you don't want to be there all day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, no, that sounds horrible all day.
Yeah, it does.
So I think that, we've been talking on and off for years about doing it, but. And then I believe soccer is interested in doing something at Clough. I've been talking to them a little bit.
Like a new
Shed.
A shed.
They bought a metal shed and it blew over and got wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't holding, but I think they're willing to spend their money on a proper.
Yeah.
More robust shed.
They're doing more clinics there now?
Yeah, well, I reached out to the school to find out from them what they're considering, where it could go. But I think outside of the short-term field issues, I think soccer's there.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. I do have two field use things. We got a request from Nipmuc Youth Field Hockey in the fall. They are getting kicked out of Misco because of the construction project.
Oh, yeah.
So they would like to move to Clough. So in the past, I believe we had soccer Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and football Tuesday, Thursdays. So I think the deadline is June 30th, but I think perhaps the consideration is, we may need to tell soccer they need to give up one of their days and figure something out just for this 1 year. Nipmuc Youth Football is going to use Tatro Field, outfield area.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a little bit of a crunch we're going to need to figure out. So I'll need to talk to soccer as well, if they can make that work. And then she said they're already somewhere else on Wednesday nights in another town. The other question I had, what do we want to do about field use fees for scouts? I guess, so with the scouts generally book the pavilion, and I think it's the Cubs, it's Joe Hood, it's the Cub Scouts, right?
No, Joe Hood's the Troop 1, that's the regular Boy Scouts.
That's Troop 1.
Yeah. James
Shay's 44.
Shay's 44, James Horner is Cub Scouts.
Too many. So because we started charging a fee for the pavilion, which we weren't doing, so in the past, we had just said scouts, they built the thing.
Yep.
And usually they go and do cleanup and stuff, so their request is Thursday nights for like 2 hours, with the lights in the pavilion. But I wanted to just bring that back to the commission,
I know they're still doing cleanup, if they're still doing cleanup projects.
if we could say to them, could you dedicate one of your meetings and go pick up trash once a month or something?
Yeah.
In exchange, because the fee would be that, I think we'd said it was the $25.
Yeah.
I think their total hours is, I put it in here, 27, so technically they know it's $27.50.
Yeah, so if they just do,
Need $27.
just have them dedicate one, like,
Could they just, after one of the meetings, go pick up trash?
go pick up trash.
Okay.
Or weed near the, they could do weeding near I know the tennis courts always get weeds near the, at that.
Yeah, also, I know I think that's the same, they're gonna do mulch at Founder's Park.
Oh, yeah, we had done that, I had done that before with San Scouts.
Yeah, so there's an Eagle Scout candidate who's going to rebuild the trellis, do a little bit of planting around the trellis. Hopefully, he was gonna put together a proposal, I haven't heard about fixing the top of the sign. I know I emailed Mark Bikino, and it sounds like the Lions are willing to support it, he needs to put together a proposal and come to them.
Okay.
There was another conversation about that whole bed around the
Yes,
sign.
are you gonna do anything
That's a
about that
different-
bed?
Not in this project.
Okay.
We met and walked with the grounds crew and Ann Mazar and talked through fertilizing for the trees. They're gonna, over by the big metal tercentenary sign near the trellis,
Okay.
those big grass things, I think they're gonna get rid of those and put something smaller. And then we talked about that front sign and either ripping that out and doing something else or cutting it back. And it sounds like that would need to be a separate project, and I think the question would be like, is that, with the Lions,
That's done,
be willing to take that on?
maybe,
And
yeah.
perhaps, the town can support it financially in terms of buying the plantings or
Let
something.
me find out. I have a meeting tomorrow night.
More, or if they could support it physically, I think is the
Maybe.
question.
I can find out
Like,
tomorrow
if
night.
there's people that are willing to help do the work.
I think, personally, I think the front of that bed would look with good with perennials that come up every year, like a flowering, which would make it easier to walk into, to change the sign.
Yeah,
Anybody to weed it or anything like that, it wouldn't look so.
well, I think that was meant, but it's too natural, and it's like a briar patch.
I'll find out, I'll let
So
you
I
know.
think that was the kind of takeaway from that conversation is that, and I think maybe that's something that the scouts or another group are interested in helping, it's like a work day.
I know they're looking at the signs because they had somebody from the Lions Club go over and look at the top and see about taking the top of it down.
Yeah, well, it looks like, so the top piece is just bolted on with a piece of plywood and it's bolted to the sign. So you just fabricate a whole new top, do it out of AZAC plastic, so it's not wood, and then maybe a more robust backing, and I think that's all you need to do.
So I know it's on the agenda because it's been discussed at the meetings.
Unless it's easier for them to just find a contractor that can fabricate it and call it a day. I'm pretty sure just bolts to the back. And I have new lights for that sign too.
Oh, you do?
And I gotta find the sockets for me, new LED bulbs to go in there. That's been another one of those projects, it's like, okay.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, I will reach out to, it was, Grisanti. That's in Jake Grisanti.
Jake,
Yeah, I'll reach out to him too and ask if he had a chance to talk it over with anybody, if he thinks it's something he can do. But that's kind of that one. And then I guess, looking to see if there's anything else, or we could just go into executive session, not to reconvene, and I can fill you in on what the deal is with the cameras. I think that's pretty much it, unless you want to maybe talk about the meeting date first.
Sure.
I think probably.
Yeah, now do you want to do another meeting date a little sooner because there could be potential?
Yeah, if I want to try and close that out, I just, click the wrong thing. So, yeah, I do have, again, if this time frame still works.
Mondays are good.
Is this, your schedule rotates?
Mine rotates, yeah.
I don't know, do we want to try again for the 4th to the 11th?
Let's see what we got here.
I can do the 4th or the 11th. Either one is fine with me.
Are we in May? Like, it was a little hard to hear you.
Yes, yeah, in May, sorry.
May 4th or May 11th.
Let's see, or the 11th.
When does cultural meet normally?
It's such a busy time of year. Actually, the 11th is better for me. I have an appointment already on the 4th.
Okay.
But it's not about me, so whatever you guys can do.
I mean, culture's only meeting now because of Mama
I
signing.
don't know if you met on like whatever day of the month.
Oh, no,
And we could also do, wait, I don't know if it's worth. We could put one in on the 4th anyway, and if you want to try and.
I mean, I can do the 4th as
They
well.
have a little more information on the cameras too, so that we got a quote on the cameras, but there's a lot of back and forth questions, so I may have a little more clarity on those, but. I don't know, is the 11th soon enough if we end up,
I think the 11th is probably soon enough for me to take.
so I would say the 11th at 5, just so it's. on the
Okay,
calendar.
yeah, it's on the calendar.
And then that way, hopefully, nothing, again, could come up that week.
your time,
I'm already booked her weekend, 10 meetings at 12.
12.
All right, and then, so I guess then the only last thing, and then we'll go into executive session and reconvene only to adjourn, so I'm not gonna restart the recording. So I guess someone makes a motion to enter into executive session under purpose 4 to discuss the deployment of security personnel and devices or strategies with respect thereto, specifically the park security cameras.
I move to enter. I so move to enter into executive session to discuss the cameras.
And then a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I guess the record reflects that Joanne's gonna join us and she's soon to be a member of the commission.
Only for a little while.
It'll only take 3 seconds.
Sure.
All right, so I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.